Hello, my wonderful artists. This week we are starting a new project because last week we finished that 1 point perspective practice. So if you can guess, this week we are also going to work with 1 point perspective, but it will be a little bit different. We are going to do a 1 point perspective landscape. Here are some examples of what I mean by 1 point perspective landscape. So as you can see, even if it's mountains or buildings or just trees, all of the lines are leading to the middle point, 1 point in the middle of the page. All the buildings look like they're getting bigger, then smaller, then smaller, then smaller. Same thing with the trees or mountains or whatever you choose to pick. There are lots of different 1 point perspective examples, and you are more than welcome to come up with your own idea or take ideas from a couple of these to create your own. For my piece, I did half trees and the other half buildings, and it is all leading to one middle point, all 1 point. The trees get smaller and the buildings get smaller as well. I will walk you through how I did this, but I don't want you to copy me exactly. As you just saw, there's tons of different ideas you could do for this. You are more than welcome to look on your own, type in 1 point perspective landscape, and you should get a lot of ideas from it. I will say that the most difficult thing to do for this project is the buildings, and the easiest to do is trees or mountains or something more like organic, not so like straight lines. This week we are only going to get as far as our pencil drawing. Next week you'll be able to color it in and finish it all off. 1 point perspective is quite challenging, so if this is really difficult for you, that's totally okay, but I think you can do it. I did use a ruler. If you don't have a ruler, find something else straight to use, a folder, a pad of paper, a box, whatever you can use that is straight, you can use it. Let's get started. I'm going to walk you through the basic lines and shapes for either buildings or for trees. But for all of our projects, you should have that little dot in the middle, and then a sort of triangle going down, and then some lines going up, but they all connect to that dot. You can pause this whenever you need to catch up if you need. So for buildings, you do 2 straight lines, a straight line across, and then the top of the building line matches with that line we already drew. We're going to do that again, and you can see the further it is from the dot, the bigger it gets. So here are 3 buildings, and once you have your buildings, you can erase that first line that you did. Remember, the buildings are the most difficult thing to do. If you'd like, you could just keep it to trees or something more organic shape in those examples I showed you before. So here are, for the trees, I did add a horizon line, which is where the sky meets the ground. So trees, they just need to stay within that triangle from the ground to the top. They just gotta fit inside of there. So you can see small, a little bit bigger, and then even bigger because it has to touch the top. And it looks like these trees are like the same size, but just one's closer and one's further back. So now you have a side with trees and a side with buildings. So I gave you those first basic steps so you could go off and do your own, but I am going to go in and add a little bit of details like a sun and windows and sidewalk and street lines. Way to go on the start. If it was hard for you, that's okay. I'm really proud that you were able to get through it. So make sure you take a photo of it. Your photo is straight and you have good light in your room. And then submit that photo on Google Classroom. Keep these safe for next week. We will finish them off. I hope you had fun. Bye.